everyone, Logoswati. I'm Sharon, matrix number 289429. The topics that I'm going to present is on what is fintech, why fintech matters to the entrepreneurs and business world in general, and how fintech changed the behavior of banking consumers. First of all, what is fintech? Fintech is the combination of two words, finance plus technology. Fintech. Financial technologies were developed to replace or supplement the traditional methods which was widely used before all this fintech is available. As the day passed by, the evolution of mobile apps and websites were widely increased. Not only that, as computer technologies become more and more matured, fintech development changed the financial service businesses. So fintech is like a combination of the invention of digital development and monetary services, which is to increase the efficiency of financial services. In conclusion, fintech is like a new era of financial technology where people can use it for loans, money transfers, mobile payments, fundraising, and donations. Moving on to the next slide. Why fintech matters to the entrepreneurs and business world in general. Fintech's development has permanently changed the method of how businesses operate. This gives entrepreneurs a wider options from starting a business to increasing a company's development or growth. For example, crowdsourcing gives opportunities to raise money fast and efficiently from people all around the world. Another sector being revised is the cross-border money transfer. TransferWise has turned the usual as well as an expensive banking solution for sending money across borders on its head, allowing small businesses and individuals to make money for a fraction of a cost. This shows that fintech influenced business to be more manageable and less expensive. In addition, because of their small-scale organization, they are able to innovate and adapt in many ways that larger organizations can only dream of. How fintech changed the behavior of banking consumers. Traditional banking consumers are not completely happy with the product and services provided at the moment. They are expecting a more advanced and high technology services for an excellent experience. So to attract these traditional consumers, traditional banks do provide help of advanced consumer relationship to delight them. Consumers can make infrequent requests for bank assistance such as information, which will be given as soon as possible with a good support, referring to terms and conditions. They have this omni-channel strategy which is useful to generate new items and maintain banking consumer information. This includes agents, chat rooms, and customer service. Apart from that, few banks have also expanded the co-browsing technology, where it allows staff to guide their consumers with direct access to the consumer's screen. This is ideal for setting up security, opening a bank, and even online credit formalization. Even though all these events available almost 24/7, most clients still prefer traditional ways to pay debts, utility bills, and receiving money transfers. However, there are traditional clients who are attracted to fintechs as the changes in digital transaction increases. That's all from me. Thank you.
A very good day to Professor Madha Dr. Lokaswati. My name is Singin Cheng and my metric number is 271419, and I'll be presenting the advantages of fintech, disadvantages of fintech, and the strategies taken by the Bank Negara Malaysia regarding fintech. Without further ado, let's get into it. As a slideshow, our group proposed three main advantages of fintech, which are reduce cost, speed or saves time, and advanced security. First of all, reduce cost. Fintech is actually contributing to reducing overall cost. For example, services provided by the fintech apps like Atom are a great way to reduce costs. Since there is no physical store for fintech, it's basically free of overhead charges. And these technologies also enable individuals and businesses to perform transactions in other currencies using their accounts without incurring significant conversion fees. The second is speed or saves time. As we all know, most online or digital services are provided on the same day. For example, if the applicant meets the conditions, the lender can issue the lending on the same day. This is one of the conveniences brought by the advancement of fintech. Most of the lenders are able to come up with a quick decision-making process. And this is because the applicants need less information while complying with the FCA lending guidelines. And this will increase the interest of all consumers in the upcoming decades, and many of them will prefer machine transactions over humans. And the last one is advanced security. Basically, fintech is all about security, and without proper security, the fintech companies will face cybercrimes such as cybersecurity infiltration as well as information theft. And when it comes to cybercrime due to the levels of intellectual property theft, fintech firms will lose billions if it's not properly taken care of. So, fintech firms or companies often invest abundantly in their security infrastructure, both online and offline, of course. And using a fingerprint to complete the last step of payments and transactions is the next level in security digital-only transactions for the advanced future, as it is more even secure than the ordinary PIN. Therefore, the clients can be confident that their information is safe and secure. Next, the disadvantages of fintech. First of all, global imbalance. All the apps and online websites need to be accessed with the broadband Wi-Fi, smartphone, mobile data, network coverage, and other internet bases. This will eventually cause imbalance in this global environment because not everyone has the access to a good Wi-Fi connection or even has a phone that supports internet coverage. Even though this world is moving fast towards advancement, there are people or even certain countries where smartphones are like a privileged property that only the rich have. So, fintech in general will lose people or customers from these areas. The second is privacy breaching. Fintech digitalizes our behavior, and almost all of our activities or actions using fintech are out there in the internet world. This is because we are always required to input lots of personal information when signing up for a new app or services. For example, when we use Shopee or Uber, our debit card info is key in their system. Yes, this is for our own convenience of completing a payment as fast as possible when we purchase items or services from these apps. However, authorized organizations or companies do get across of our buying information data. That's how we often get messages or email relating to what we usually buy or surf on the internet. And even banks nowadays use our personal spending patterns to optimize interest rates or credit scores. The last one is lack of security. As much as security is an advantage, it can also be a disadvantage if it's not properly taken care of. Fintech companies who only care for income or profit without giving much thought into spending some money to tighten their security often come across with data thefts because hackers will take advantage of this carelessness of their weak security system, and this will eventually put our personal information into the internet. Next, strategies taken by Bank Negara Malaysia regarding fintech. The fintech companies in Malaysia have begun their development since the 2000s, and that has improved the transaction system by adopting e-payment without using the physical banknotes. As an initiative by the government, Bank Negara Malaysia launched several programs to increase the transaction activities of fintech. Amongst them are the Fintech Booster Program that was launched in August 2020 that assists in the development of fintech companies in Malaysia. The objective of this program is to help fintech companies to have further comprehension regarding the requirements of legal, compliances, and regulations while developing their innovative products and services. And this program also encourages collaboration between public and private sectors as well as new startup companies to establish a flexible and impactful digital economy system that enhances the financial performance amongst fintech industries. Next, the Bank Negara Malaysia also associated with Malaysia Digital Economic Corporation (MDEC) and United Nations Capital Development Fund (UNCDF) to launch a program named Inclusive Fintech Accelerator. The objective of this program is to resolve financial inclusion pain points in Malaysia, and moreover, this program is also providing a forum for fintech startups to exchange information with developed fintech companies via the hub. Finally, Bank Negara Malaysia also scheduled a virtual event that will be launched in early 2022 called Is Fintech Week with the theme Advancing Digitalization for Recovery, Sustainability and Inclusion. This event emphasizes boosting the economy post-COVID-19 pandemic by reiterating the importance of finance and digital technology for a better and financially stable future. And this virtual event will be held 5 days consecutively with hundreds of professional fintech-related companies, speakers, providing their professional advice for startup fintech companies. And that's all from my part. Thank you for listening.
A very good day to Doctor. I am Panchalok, matric number 270650. Now, I'm going to explain about the international fintech company that we had chosen for our assignment, which is Stripe. Stripe is a popular online payment processor. It is indeed a financial service and software as a service firm based in the United States. It is a payment processing software firm that provides application programming interface for e-commerce website and mobile applications. Stripe is a firm that creates internet economic infrastructure. The organization aspires to assist more businesses in getting established and growing the internet's GDP. Stripe is founded by two Collison brothers that began working on the company together. During that time, they had disagreed over the accepting payments on internet would be so that difficult. After facing difficulties together, 6 months of hard working, they finally conducted the first transaction with a firm called 2x0 North. Just after 2 weeks, they're launching the app. Stripe is a payment processor that can be integrated into both mobile and online apps. Additionally, there is no monthly subscription and it is solely offered to companies. Stripe helps people make online payments by providing fraud protection and financial infrastructure. Here we got the product or service that offered by Stripe. As mentioned at the previous slide, Stripe was a payment processor that provides a fast access of transaction, which payment is made with a point of scale card, which is POS. The procedure happens by transmit the transaction data, approval, assessing, and deduction, and also deposit of transaction, which only happen in a few seconds, which is quick while having secure protection. Next, proceeding to the second point, which is developer tools. Stripe APIs offer a stable and well-designed infrastructures for developers to rapidly and easily connect the platform into their application using a range of language. There were 3 unique tools of Stripe. The first one is the Stripe Connect, which is a platform for vetting overseas vendor while creating unique payment schedules. Next, which is Stripe Atlas, that serves as a helper for opening bank account in nation. And the last one is Stripe Radar, work as an e-commerce fraud service, which using machine to detect and prevent credit card fraud. In addition, we had the rules and regulations that apply to Stripe. The first one is machine learning based risk evaluation. Stripe Radar for fraud teams come with a range of standard law based upon their machine learning system assessment, such as rules, blockage, and refusing to accept transaction with a significant threat. For customer of Radar for fraud teams, this rule is activated by standard. Stripe Radar for fraud teams, default practice is to put payments under review if we feel there is a high chance of fraud. While the second rule and regulation is checks written on a card. So, when a CVC and postal code verification fails, actually a transaction still can be completed. To prevent this issue from happening, Stripe had allowed customers to stop the transaction by several criteria. The regulation would also applicable towards the card validation that takes place when adding a card to an account. Whenever a client creates a card with another client, the CVC and postal code might hinder the record from being successfully created. So by default, this rule may not be enabled for client account. The Stripe dashboard, which is Stripe design, allows the client to enable or stop it at any moment. Stripe bans transaction whose fail a card issuer CVC authentication process. Thus, if the client would offer the CVC number to enable the authentication process, this rule can prevent the payment from going through. Whenever a failure here on the card issuer postal code authentication occurs, Stripe will stop the payment. So this rule cannot be prevent the payment from being blocked if the card issuer client has not completed their verification. So, well, that's all for my part. Thank you for lending your ears. Thank you.
A very good day to doctor. My name is Wan Chanjing. My trace number is 2700786. Now, I would like to talk about the Malaysian fintech company, which is Touch and Go at Sdn Bhd. Touch and Go Sdn Bhd, a well-known company to all the Malaysian, is now led by the chairman Dato Zainal Abidin Puteh and Chief Executive Officer Effendi Shaful Hamid. The first Touch and Go toll payment system was launched and installed at the toll station which located in the Jalan Bahang on 18 March 1997. Therefore, the TNG toll payment system expanded to all the toll stations across the country. Furthermore, in the year 2000, SmartTech, an onboard unit vehicle-based device to accomplish the purpose of all the vehicle drivers can pay the toll fees without stopping their vehicle and speed up the process of paying to afford more vehicles. Next, in the year 2008, Touch and Go card became the most popular and convenient payment method on the public transportation such as LRT, MRT, rapid bus, and so on. Hence, the people who need to hold a Touch and Go card without bring any cash can enjoy the cashless payment on the public transportation. In 2017, Touch and Go had discovered the fintech industry potential, which is the one of the fastest growing areas. So, in order to grab an admission ticket into the fintech world and possess the fintech industry market share, an application, it can be said that everyone will download it on their smartphone nowadays, named Touch and Go e-wallet have been launched. An e-wallet is a form of an electronic card that functions as to make online purchases by using online connected device such as computer or smartphone. The function of the e-wallet are similarly to a credit card or a debit card. However, an e-wallet must be connected to the user bank's account to make fund transfer over each other. This launch application is a joint venture between the Touch and Go and the Ant Financial, the subsidiary company of Alibaba Groups, which own the biggest online payment platform in the China. Touch and Go owns 51% of the share and the Ant Financial owns 49% of the share. This greatly reduces the chance of being robbed and ensure our personal safety. Also greatly improves our portability by making process of payment more convenient when we are using the Touch and Go e-wallet. Now I would like to continue with the service offered by the Touch and Go e-wallet. Touch and Go e-wallet and phone application that can pay and receive funds to or from your family members, friends, or customer. Imagine that before the e-wallet launch, we always need to carry cash to purchase daily goods, food and beverage, pay the bills, and so on. Nowadays, Touch and Go has accumulated a total of 410,000 merchants in Malaysia. This number told us that we could use the e-wallet to make a payment with these merchants by just scanning the QR codes. Next, e-wallet has launched a feature named On-Street Parking. These features may lead the user to enjoy a cashless experience when they want to park their car in certain jurisdictions which cooperate with Touch and Go in Malaysia. By using e-wallet, the user no need to look for an auto-pay kiosk to pay the parking fees and save a lot of time. E-wallet also have the features about the toll paying name Pay Direct and RFID. PayDirect enables users to use their own physical touch and go card into the e-wallet for paying the toll fares at the Klang Valley, Penang and Johor. In comparison, RFID is a touch and go embedded radio frequency chip linked to the user touch and go e-wallet for paying the toll fees. Furthermore, Go Plus was launched by the Touch and Go on 29 March 2021, giving the Touch and Go user opportunity to put their funds into the Go Plus account to earn potential earnings. This financially inclusive investment product allowed the user to make an investment into the low-risk money markets with the funds as low as 10 ringgit, and the user may enjoy the net daily return based on the funds they invest. Touch and Go whistleblowing policy, which is the rules and regulations that apply to the Touch and Go. In the conduct of its business and activities, Touch and Go Sdn Bhd is devoted to the highest standards of honesty, transparency, and accountability. It wants to be ethical, accountable, and transparent to its operation. As a result, this policy is being prepared in accordance with the Whistleblower Protection Act of 2010. The objective of this act are provide the channel for the workers and the third party to report any wrongdoings, malpractice, or irregularities that are detected, encourage all the workers to be aware of what is going on in the Touch and Go Sdn Bhd immediate working environment, and establish the right of and protection that the workers have when release such image. While the Touch and Go e-wallet money cashback guarantee terms and condition is when there are the situation in which the user of the Touch and Go e-wallet occurs an unauthorized transaction in their own account and the user make no fault, the Touch and Go company will give the user compensation up to Rm5,000. Nevertheless, the company will not compensate the user when the user grant permission to any individual by accessing their e-wallet in the following actions: giving the 6-digit pins, telling the login user and password to the others. So therefore, TNG company will not cover this action under the money back guarantee policy. Thus, this TNG company often promotes those users should avoid revealing personal privacy information to the strangers in order to prevent losses.
A very good day, Doctor. My name is Wong Yao Guang, metric number 271387. Now I would like to present the future of fintech globally and in Malaysia. First of all, the future of the global is a new relationship with money. Fintech has changed many perception of currency and value exchange in a real-time digital environment. Cashless business have sprout out, causing hesitant customers to learn the habit of digital transaction, while the government debates whether this is discrimination or development, requiring individuals to buy goods and services online rather than in person is merely the first step. Nowadays, customers are increasingly accepting payment transfer using mobile phones or smartwatches. This is an example of the invention of financial technology. In addition, fintech as an enabler for better financial service is also one of the future in globally. There are some technology examples like IoT, AI, blockchain, and cloud computing that are changing the way customers engage with the people from whom they purchase goods and services. There will be people in traditional financial service or company will think that fintech is a disruptor. On the other hand, those who use technological innovation will achieve success that traditional finance cannot. Fintech firms are now at the forefront of their industry, offering a diverse variety of innovative financial products and services with the objective of making fund administration simpler and more efficient. It includes numerous financial service examples such as lending, financial markets, and regulatory technologies. The last point is new consumer markets. Fintech helps financial service providers to penetrate new markets and less clients in locations where there are few alternative options to access previously unavailable service via mobile devices. Access to consumer with inadequate or unbanked account enable fintech firms to enter and profit from hitherto unexplored areas, particularly in Asia and Southern Hemisphere. Therefore, the mobile sales will be able to reach about billion in future. The next slide is the future of fintech in Malaysia. Firstly, the fintech will change Malaysian bank. Fintech services are quickly challenging global banks' offering. The same is true for Malaysia's banking business, with even more financial services stepping forward to supply consumers with fintech services that are typically more efficient than traditional banking systems. Fintech businesses are no longer marginal disruptors but have matured into rivals. Mature financial institutions are now paying attention to and providing financial technology solutions to build an ecosystem that is replacing traditional relationships. Moreover, the scene of the fintech in Malaysia. Fintech has grown quickly, benefiting MNCs and a new generation of investors. There will have already 21 registered equity crowdfunding and peer-to-peer financing platforms, which have raised a total of 587 million ringgit for all 1,600 SMEs. Nowadays, Malaysia has 3 licensed and fully operating robo-advisors, which are Stashaway, MyFuture, and Wahed. We continue to notice a lot of interest in this sector and will do everything we can to help it flourish. Lastly, financial institutions will meet the challenge. Malaysia's long-established financial institutions are also pursuing projects in the fintech sector, with the majority of the major banks working in or investing in fintech solutions and technology to expand its fintech business. Malaysia's top banks Maybank unveiled the Maybank Anytime Everyone, which is MAE, e-wallet and mobile banking system early this year. Its newest e-wallet is also a complement to its well-established Maybank to You, which is presently a market leader in digital banking system. Here is the end. Thank you for lending your ears.
In conclusion, fintech can be said that it's an imperative future trend. It changed a person payment method, deposit method, investment method, and even more exaggeratedly, it changed the people lifestyle in the future. It also changed the way a financial institution operates, allowing the management to put more focus on it so that their strategy can allow them to gain more competitive advantages against the competitors. Nevertheless, the financial institution had to face several challenges, such security of the user information. Once the challenges have been solved, the user will be giving them their trust and confidence into the fintech industry. Its potential is unlimited, which allowed the people to continue to explore and unearth more potential to benefit the crowd. That's all from us. Thank you.